Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I've got a treat. Brian Breach, what's cracking with you?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. This is my first time in Vegas. I'm excited to be here. Got off the plane to 110 degrees, hit me in my face, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's not always this cold.
Yeah, it'll be 115.
Where'd you fly
tomorrow.
in from, New York?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale. Where do you live?
10 minutes west of Fort Lauderdale Plantation, but nobody knows where Plantation is, so I say Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times.
Okay.
I like it.
Partied out there?
So, folks, if you guys don't know who Brian Breach is, you probably saw one of his videos or the video that kind of went viral where he stood outside of a Target?
Outside of a Target, yep.
And basically acted like a homeless individual needing help for the holidays, and anyone that was kind enough to give him $1.50 or more, he'd return with $100 bill. Now, why $1.50? You had to make sure they had skin in the game.
They got to have skin in the game.
No quarters.
No quarters. Somebody offered me food. $1. Somebody gave me 50 cents, I believe. It was all different forms.
You know, it's funny because a lot of times I'll hand a homeless individual $100,
right?
Or if we're driving and they're out on the the freeway median,
right?
I'll get whatever cash is in my glove compartment, my little console thing, and I'll give it to them. My wife's always like, "Why are you giving them money?" And it's like, why is society so against helping people out? Like,
right.
I help people out. What's crazy though is I never really know. There's nothing consistent about it. I either have a feeling to give them money,
right,
or I don't.
Right.
Usually when they're just dirty and capable, I don't.
Right.
Usually if they're like one arm, or they have a little kid with them, or it's a girl or somebody, then I don't know what tells me to do it. Just sometimes I'll say here.
Right.
And I always like to give them more than they're expecting, just to see their eyes
see the reaction.
Because dude, if they're really in a situation, dude, $100 goes a long way. If they're looking for more crack or more beer or more, weed or whatever it is their vice is,
right?
It doesn't really do much. $100 doesn't go very far when you're smoking crack.
Right, that's true.
I know that.
Well, the crazy thing about mine was it wasn't specifically that I was giving it to a homeless person. It was actually random shoppers that were walking into Target that thought I was homeless. Yeah. So the flack that I got about 90% positive comments on the video. The other 10% was like, why would you give it to somebody shopping at a Target? They already have money. I was like, how do you know someone shopping at Target has money of their own? So so I got some negative that you should have given to homeless. I'm like, how do you know that I haven't my whole life? So after that thing went viral, I set up a GoFundMe page, and I actually raised $1,000 for at-risk youth and gave it to them. And all the people that literally, I targeted the people that were saying, why didn't you give that money to homeless people? I sent them the link to the GoFundMe page, and not one person who came at me with negative comments about not giving the money to actual homeless people donated $1 to that GoFundMe page.
It's funny about that.
The hypocrites.
And before that, dude, you were like a hip hop artist yourself.
Long time, man.
So you can flow a little bit.
Freestyle. A little bit. Probably won't right now, but yeah, a little bit.
And then you formed a record label and started representing artists.
Yeah, it was a long journey, man. So I got fired from my last 9 to 5 in 2008. And I got into a little bit of legal issue in 2006, and that prevented me from getting a job anywhere. I mean, at that time, I probably couldn't get a job at McDonald's, so I had to figure out what I was going to do.
Why is that?
What's that?
Why is that?
I was arrested in 2006 twice for some ridiculous stuff, and it wasn't anything crazy. If I talk about it, wasn't nothing crazy. But
what was it?
I just had a couple things in my car that I shouldn't.
Well, like what?
All right, we'll talk some drugs in the car.
You said before we started you were transparent.
No, I'm very transparent. Yeah, I had.
Dude, I've told people on here I've smoked crack before.
Okay, yeah, I had some drugs in the car, but the problem was that
kind of drugs.
It was at a time where I was kind of comfortable with the lifestyle, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, oh, this is normal at this point. So I got arrested within 2 weeks of one another. One was on the way to work, and the other one was leaving the Hard Rock I ended up getting 18 months probation for it. And if I would have had a better lawyer, I probably would have got off on it. But the place that I was working at, they fired me because I was focusing on music and I wasn't paying attention to what was going on anymore. And they said, look, we love you. I think you should go get a job in a different department. And I couldn't even get a job in the same building in a different department from a guy who knew me for 4 years. He's like, sorry, man, we ran your background. I was like, what? I've been here for 4 years. You know me. And he's like, doesn't matter, we can't hire you. So,
but that's just stupid corporate shit.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it blew my mind, but I was kind of nervous. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. So the first thing we did right off the bat was start throwing shows. So we got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wait for people to book me on shows. So in essence, I became the promoter. I booked the talent. I put myself on the flyer, put my face big on the flyer. I opened up for the headliners. I got a percentage of the bar, and I took the door. So I became the entrepreneur and started throwing shows. So I got a chance to open up for people from the Woo. I got chances to host shows with Nas and Ghostface and Mobb Deep and NERD and Pharrell and all these big people, and it was an incredible experience. But in South Florida, it's unsustainable to throw hip hop shows and try to survive that way. Some days I'll make $4,000, some days I'll lose 800, and some days I'll break even. But for the most part, you'll break even. It's a weird thing. People in Miami don't want to go to Broward. It's an odd concept. And people in Broward will go to Miami, but people from West Palm won't go to Miami. It's just this weird thing. So if you throw a show in the wrong area, no one's showing up. And that turned into an independent label. We're like, we need to make...
What do the artists do if they walk out and there's no one there?
It's happened. You know what? I don't know if you're familiar with AZ. Used to be Nas's partner in the firm. AZ is a huge artist, and the promoter threw the show a little bit too early, and there was like 5 people in the audience. And this is a guy who's performed for thousands of people on a consistent basis. He said, fuck it. He went out, killed it, and we were enjoying it. It was like a private event. We got to see this guy perform. He was the coolest guy ever. This guy.
Well,
AZ.
that's cool that he did it anyway.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. He got paid. You know what I mean? The money came in. He got his $5,000 or whatever it was to perform. He was good to go. So I don't think they care as long as the money's there. You know.
But you were the artist as well.
On that particular show, I didn't perform. That was my friend's show. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, dude, we have a lot in common. One time I was at a camp.
Yeah.
I would call it, I forget the name of it now, but like the kids camp, and I got a job there as a counselor.
Right.
And so all the little kids, they were like 6th, 7th graders.
Right.
We were in there freaking writing raps. It was freaking pretty good. I
That's
had
awesome.
my flow down for a minit.
Oh, so you could rap a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think I could go up with the best of them. No, just joking.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
So then what made you decide to make that video? And did that just transition you where it's like, damn, dude, now everybody's calling you? And
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. So after the hip hop label, we needed tangible money in our hands. We weren't making that kind of money, so we started a printing business. So we were given this 30,000 square foot warehouse. It was incredible. It reminds me of this place, but this place is a little nicer. And we decked it out, and we spent months painting and wrapping the walls and making it look incredible. Then the building sold. We lost the printing business, and then I turned that into a clothing line. That turned into a social media business. So in the last 10 years, I've literally failed 100 times to get to the point that I'm at. So my transition from hip hop to comedy was fairly simple because I always did the funny stuff. My dad is a funny guy. We used to shoot all these crazy comedy skits when we were younger. And I said, you know what, I'm done. I released my last album in December 2016. And I was like, let me transition to this comedy world. I did this one comedy skit called the Cardi B Mania Call. It was freaking horrible. I mean, it was horrible, but it went kind of semi-viral. Then I walked into Sawgrass Mall pretending I was a celebrity. I hired 2 fake bodyguards, 12 actors in the crowd. I had 2 fake paparazzi. And within 20 seconds of 2 of our actors coming up to me in the mall and screaming, "Oh my God, it's fucking Brian Breach!" 100 people were lined up in 20 seconds waiting to sign. I was signing autographs, taking pictures. I had about 8 people tell me I was their favorite actor of all time. But the funny thing was, we didn't lie to anyone. I was like, look, when they ask you who I am, you're going to tell them I was in Baywatch, the movie. I was in Bloodline as a bodyguard, and I was as an extra in all these things.
Bloodline, the show?
Yeah, I was a bodyguard in Bloodline, but I was an extra. My face was on the screen, but not enough where you're going to recognize me. But I told the actors to say, look, tell them that he was in Bloodline and Baywatch. And in Baywatch, I skateboarded past Zac Efron like 100 times, but you barely could see my face. But we don't want to lie to the crowd. So that one kind of went semi-viral. And then Christmas Eve, I woke up, got super inspired, stood in front of a Target, cut clothes, rip clothes, dirt all over me, and handed out $100 bills to anyone that offered help to me. And Channel 7 picked it up. I was literally laying in my bed and I got an email from Channel 7. Hey, can you meet us at the Target in 30 minutes? So I waited about 20 minutes to reply. So I had time to get dressed and go do the interview. Once I did that interview, the next day I got hit up by CNN and MSNBC and Fox and Yahoo, Radio.com, and every news station in the country hit me up to get permission to run the story. And from there, it was just literally been opportunity after opportunity. I got connected with this guy, Hugo, from the Modi app. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Yeah. He connected me with Casey Adams. I saw the Build Your Empire on your wall here. And he connected me with some other people. And then boom, 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 boom. And ever since then, it's just been opportunity after opportunity, all from a crazy little thing going viral,
Did you plan it?
That was out of everything I do, I plan things for weeks. I did a prank at the Miami Heat Arena in front of 20,000 people on the Jumbotron where I dropped the ring and did a fake proposal. It was bizarre. That went viral, but I planned that for 3 weeks. The one that went beyond viral, I didn't plan at all. I woke up, I saw a video on Facebook that super inspired me, and I'm like, shit, I think I got to do this. And I went to Walgreens, and when I was in line at Walgreens, now I'm thinking about this, the guy from, his name is Help Me Howard, he's on the news every day. I see him in line, I was like, this is a sign. And I looked at him and I was like, hey man, you're Help Me Howard, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm buying stuff to be a homeless guy because I'm about to shoot something I think is going to go viral. And he looked at me like I was fucking crazy. It's like, get the fuck out of here. And he walked off, and no planning whatsoever. We just went out and we shot it. She parked in a car across the street with her camera like this, and that was it. Right in the middle of the social experiment, someone came up to me and was like, hey man, I recognize you, bro. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Kind of almost ruined the prank a little bit. But
do you have a lav on, or how do you get the sound?
I actually, I had a lavalier mic, and we hit it nicely. And as I was adjusting my lavalier before we started, I was leaning down fixing it, and some 19-year-old kid dropped $1 by my feet as I was fixing the lavalier. And it sucks because I didn't give him the $100 because we weren't filming yet, but I felt so bad. I wanted to give the kid the $100 because he helped me out, but he genuinely dropped $1 by my feet while I was leaning down to fix my lavalier mic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you really look homeless or no?
I did, but a lot of the comments that I was getting online and stuff like that was like, that kid don't look homeless, because you couldn't see how, if you look closely, I put dirt all over me, all over my face, my hat, everything was like disgusting. I had holes everywhere, but from a distance that we filmed it, you couldn't see it. But so people were like, if that's what a homeless fucking guy looks like, damn, he's pretty dressed nice for a homeless guy. I was like, nah, because you didn't see up close. But yeah, I was ripped from head to toe.
Well, you should just do another one where you're not homeless. That was where I was going earlier. Like,
yeah.
Number one, why is it bad to give homeless people money?
What is it? What?
Why is it bad? Like, society kind of looks down upon it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I was getting negative comments, like I was saying before, of people saying, why are you giving people that are going into Target, they already have money? I'm like, but why is it bad to give anybody money? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were talking down on me because I was giving people buying gifts for their kids money and help. Everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anytime.
I need help right now.
Man, I got a crazy story about helping people that's literally inspired me to this day, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Man, so this is when I'm 21 years old, right? I'm living in Plantation with this girl.
Now, where's Plantation? No,
Plantation's
I'm
about...
just messing with you.
Yeah, 12 minutes west of Fort Lauderdale. Nobody knows where it is ever, but so I'm living with this girl, and I was so broke at that time that my brakes fell out of my car. Like, I had no brakes. I couldn't fix them. I couldn't afford to fix them. It was so fucking bad that I was stopping on my e-brake, and my car almost caught fire. So my girl at the time, she bought me a $100 gift certificate to Firestone over on University, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be enough to fix these brakes. $100, not going to fix your freaking brakes when you don't have brakes in the car. For weeks, I was driving to and work with the e-brake. So I scheduled an appointment with Firestone, and I was supposed to be there. I don't remember the time. Let's say it was like 2 o'clock. On the way there, my car didn't start. So my girl jumps my car, and as I'm getting ready to leave, her car dies. And then I had to jump her car from my car. So now that I'm thinking retrospect to the story, I think that caused me to be late to the appointment. And when I got to the appointment, I give them my car, and they come out and they're like, hey man, your car is almost on fire. We can't give you your car back. And I'm about to cry because I got to go to work. I got no money. I have no one to give me money. My mom passed away when I was 13 years old. My dad, I love him to death, but he was in his own world. So I put my head down on the counter, literally almost in tears, and there's this guy in the suit standing next to me, and I just hear this voice go, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And they told me it was like $1,200. So the guy was like, "It's $1,200 to fix your brakes," and I hear this voice next to me go, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And I lift my head up and I look, and I was like, "You'll take care of what?" Man, I almost get choked up when telling this story. This is how amazing this thing is. I said, what will you take care of? He's like, "I'm going to pay for your brakes today." I was like, "Listen, I can't let you do that, man." I was like, "I'll pay you back. I'll work for you." And the guy looks at me and he goes to me, he says this, and I'll never forget this shit, and this has inspired me forever. And I want to do a whole skit or social experiment on this. He looks at me and he goes, "Listen, one day you're going to be in a position to help somebody else, and that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to pay me back. Don't work for me. When you're in a position in your life to help other people, I want you to do it." And I was like, "Holy shit, thank you." And I shook his hand, and me and the guy behind the counter started talking. And I remember him because he looks like the rapper Big Pun. And he looks at me, he goes, "We just witnessed a miracle." And then we went to go look where this guy went. And it was the weirdest thing. We didn't even see him leave the store. I don't know if he like disappeared and he was an angel. We went to the parking lot just to see if he was a rich guy, to see if he was driving like a Bentley or Maserati. We never saw him leave the store, ever. Now, the crazy part of that story, other than the fact that he helped me and he got my brakes, is that the guy behind the counter, I became friends inadvertently, without knowing this, with his wife, who ended up working with us at that printing business. I even flew to California to try to open a dispensary to stay with them. Still didn't realize it was him. And it wasn't until like 7 years, or no, more than that, probably like 14, 15 years after that situation happened, I'm sitting there with them and I'm like, they brought up that he worked at Firestone, and I was like, "Wait a second. Hey, you worked at Firestone, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you remember an incident where a kid came in, he didn't have brakes, and some guy paid for the brakes?" And he's like, "Yeah, I remember that." He goes, "Holy shit, that was me." So I've been friends with a guy who was the guy in the counter for over 15 years without ever knowing that he was a part of that story. So I just thought it was some miraculous thing, man. I mean, I'll never forget that day the rest of my life, ever.
Is that what inspired you?
That has been what inspired me to help other people, because I've always helped other people. When I was doing hip hop, I threw shows for the homeless. I've spoken for kids many times. I've raised money for kids. So it has inspired me for the rest of my life, that one incident. I mean, who does that? Who hands you $1,200 on the spot to fix your brakes?
Good people.
Good people.
Well, people that can afford it, and or good people.
I hope he's watching your show. I've always wanted to find this guy. If I ever get on Ellen DeGeneres, I'm gonna have a real. I'm gonna tell that story and pray to God I get a phone call from this guy, because I want to pay. I want to thank him.
Yeah, and $1,200. That's some decent change.
Not peanuts.
Yeah, it's not peanuts. Like, I've helped people where like I always get choked up when someone's at the store and their little kid wants a toy and they're like, "No, because we can't afford it." And then you see them pull out the food stamps.
Oh yeah.
I always, I feel bad even saying it, because I don't want them to feel any certain way with their kid.
Right.
So I kind of try to let them know, like, I'll get the toy for the kid, but $1,200, dude, that's stepping up.
Absolutely. I'm big on helping people. Yeah.
So you said you started a clothing line.
Yeah.
What was that one?
So the clothing line started, so we had this printing business, and I'm in this printing business. We had this 30,000 square foot warehouse, and I had this idea for a clothing line, and we hired an intern that was from the Fort Lauderdale Art Institute, and this guy had such amazing talent when it came to artistic abilities, and I had this idea for the clothing line. So the clothing line was this. The name of the clothing line is called Psyche Clothing, okay? Psyche, the acronym, stands for Success is Key. The logo is the word psyche in a brain. Psyche in itself is a play on words, S-I-K-E-Y, on psyche, which is your mind. And where does success start? In your brain, in your mind.
Sure does.
So the whole thing, the logo, the name, the acronym, it all kind of ties into one thing. And it's an incredible line. I had it in a couple stores, had it in the archives, I had it in Sneak Attack in Miami. I was doing well with sales. And then I spoke about this during my TEDx. I got to the point where, you ever heard the expression, scared money don't make no money?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was at in my life at that time. I was like, I'm a little scared. I don't want to put too much money into it. I don't want to go crazy. And when you don't put enough money into a business, what happens? You take baby steps. So I got to the point where I didn't want to keep pumping tons of money into it, and then it kind of fizzled out. But now that that things are happening and moving, I want to reboot it. I got it up to like 34,000 followers on my Instagram page, and it was doing really well. It got a lot of buzz, and it just kind of fizzled out. But I'm ready to get back into it.
You know, our boy Damon John will be here in a minute.
Okay.
He started FUBU.
Oh, of course, yeah. From Shark Tank. Yeah. That's my guy.
Yeah, so if we're walking out, ask him.
Oh, absolutely.
He apparently knows something on starting a clothing brand.
A little bit for us, by us.
What's the hat that says "Say Less"?
Yes, when I did hip hop shows, I would always specifically go buy articles of clothing that had a message on it. So everywhere I go, when I'm going to streetwear stores or whatever, I try to find something that has to do with something. So this isn't my brand or anything like that, but you know, I think, although we're talking a lot now, I think sometimes saying less means more in this life. I think saying less in certain situations, whether it be a breakup or you know, kind of crazy relationship, I think saying less proves more of a point. You know, I take that from an example from my dad. My dad had an issue with his wife's side of the family, and he would always try to explain himself all the time. And they got to the point where they didn't want to fucking hear it because all he does is over-explain. So I told him, I was like, listen, stop explaining and don't say shit to them. They blame you for things that have nothing to do with you. Don't say anything. You know what happens? He stopped saying stuff, and they beg him to come back over to the side of the family. They beg him to come hang out. They apologize profusely, but they never once apologized when he overtalked. So if I have to take away a message from the hat, it would be that say less. I think it makes more of a statement sometimes.
And it's true. I always tell people, I have my own little original sayings that I've created, which are basically just spun off differently from other sayings.
Make sure you copyright them.
Yeah, but one of them is, I always tell people, if you want people to listen to you, speak less.
So true.
Like it's almost an oxymoron.
It is.
You know, it's like
it
you want people to hear you, stop talking.
It's true.
But it is. It's true, and it's one of those true like dichotomies. It's like, what?
100%.
If I want people to listen to me, stop talking.
Right.
Well, then who's going to listen to me? Everybody, if you if you run your mouth a lot,
people don't want to hear it.
Well, not only that, it just means less.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say less, it absolutely does draw that in.
100%. What happens when you stop talking to a girl, or what happens when a girl stops talking to you and she gives you the silent treatment? Makes you go crazy, makes you want her more. The absent makes the heart grow fonder type of thing.
Well, like if we're in a room where everyone was talking for an hour and this one person didn't say a word, when that person talks, everyone's like instantly listening because they
what do they have to say?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. 100%.
So now, folks, by the way, if you guys want to follow this dude, at Brian Breach, just like it sounds, like you breach a door.
Follow me.
Which is dropping bombs. I know breach has something to do with bombs. Just fits.
That name came in a semi-interesting way.
So you did a TEDx talk now. You're going to Disrupt in Puerto Rico.
Yes, I'm excited. Shout out to Anthony. What's that?
NetCon.
Yeah, I spoke at the Hamptons at NetCon. Big shout out to my man Simon. He put on an amazing event. Then they're doing another one in LA, and they're doing another one in Tribeca coming up soon. So yeah, I've been hitting the speaking circuit all for my TEDx. I got that amazing opportunity, and the way that opportunity came about was crazy. Had to do with two girls, and I got that opportunity. And from the TEDx, I'm kind of like going back and forth on things I want to do. I'm shooting these comedy skit stuff. I'm getting a lot of opportunities there. But after my TEDx, I'm like, I like speaking. I enjoy standing up in front of people and giving knowledge and helping people. So I'm like this weird comedy entertainer, skit, prank, viral guy now speaking.
Well, you're going to be popular if you're funny, because I was just telling my friend the other day,
you
know, I don't see a lot of funny speakers.
Yes.
Because people will ask me to speak only because I dropped out of high school and I shouldn't be a winner and blah, blah, blah. Which again, dropping out of high school, that doesn't make you a loser.
Right. No, not at all.
As a matter of fact, I believe gives you more of an advantage.
Yeah.
Personally.
Because you experience the real world faster.
That's right. When everybody else is in the sheltered college life listening to people that probably don't know their ass from the hole in the ground, I'm out there getting my teeth kicked in, learning the real shit.
So true. I've been working since I'm 11 years old. And what you said about the funny comedy, the first thing I did in NetCon, I made everyone stand up. I was like, guys, man, I want to see everyone's positive energy. Like, we're alive, we're breathing. Everyone stand up. I want everyone to clap for me. Everyone clap. They're clapping as loud as they can. They thought it was about positive energy. And I'm like, all right, sit down, guys. I'm like, listen, the reason I wanted you to stand up and clap had nothing to do with positive energy. I'm going to give this footage to my videographer, and he's going to make it seem like I got a standing ovation at the end of this. Everyone just started dying laughing. That kicked off my whole NetCon talk. So I got a lot of messages afterwards like, you're the only one that spoke about going viral. Not a lot of people stand up that are currently shooting viral videos and then tell people how they do it. I've never seen it, as a speaker. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's been a fun road.
Well, there's a lot of pranksters out there now, man.
Ton.
So your shit better be good.
A little bit.
You ever heard of Josh Paler Lynn?
No, it doesn't sound familiar. I feel like I should, huh?
Well, he's a prankster.
Yeah.
Some of those pranksters are just stupid though. Like
Yeah.
they're just dumb, and then
Right.
not only that, they're unbelievable, and there's no substance, and it's just
Right.
being a dick out on the street.
Right. I do everything though. I do I shoot these skits. I did a collab with Don Benjamin in LA, and then I do the pranks, I do the social experiments to speak. So I feel like I'm all over the place with it. I want to do different stuff. I recently put up a billboard over I-95 and Griffin Road. So I was looking for a talent manager at the time, and I try to up myself, and I try to do things that people wouldn't do. So I literally put up a billboard, and I put my face on it he's a staple in Miami. His name is Don Bailey, and he has this billboard where he's like a naked guy and he's laying down. So I put my head on this naked guy looking for a talent manager, and that kind of went viral as well. And every day people were seeing my head on a naked body over Griffin and 95. And then we did the whole
All naked?
no, he had like a little tidy whities on or whatever. I didn't want to go too crazy. But then we protested my own billboard. I dressed up as a character, and if you ever watch the movie 8 Mile, 8 Mile at the end where Eminem battles Papa Doc, he says all this negative stuff about himself so nobody could say it first, because I knew I was going to get shit by putting up a billboard. Oh, he's pretentious, he's crazy, he wants attention. So I went out there and I protested the billboard, and as a different guy, and I basically said every negative thing you could say about me before other people could, and boom, and I posted it. So I try to think outside the box a little. I don't want to be like every other prankster, skip person. I want to have my hands in all pots, and I want to do things differently, and I want to keep getting bigger and bigger in it. You know, I want to think very imaginatively.
How does it pay? Like just for ads rolling on the YouTube? Is that where you
I'm gonna be
release
100%
on
honest with
YouTube?
you. I have not figured out how to monetize a lot of the stuff. What went viral for me hit the news and all the radio stations. So what went viral across the country on every news station didn't necessarily get millions of views online. It just got shared by 1,000 news channels across the country. So the way I make money is I have a social media business. I'm in the process, is why I wanted a manager, of learning how to monetize this stuff. And you know, a lot of people don't know that. I'm honest about that stuff. I'm literally in the process of figuring out how to make money from all this crazy stuff I'm doing. Even with the talks I'm doing. I got my first paid talk just recently. My travel's being paid for to fly out to LA. So I'm slowly getting there.
Well, nice. That's good.
You know?
I've always had an idea to basically make a prank video, but I need bodyguards because people will want to punch with mine.
What would your prank be?
Well, I can say bang really loud, and I do. Matter of fact, like if anyone around here, if you asked any of my employees,
Yeah.
like I'll just yell bang,
Just the word bang.
just bang,
Okay.
really loud, bang.
Right.
And you know, I wait until someone's about ready to take a drink or somebody's about ready to frickin' come out of a door. So it scares the shit because it's so loud and
Right.
it's so quick.
Right.
And it's usually silent when it happens.
Right.
So I just think it's funny because they get so scared, and you know, you slow motion that, it's going to get funny. But
Right.
more importantly, like you go out, go in an elevator, and where someone's just filming you being quiet, and then right when the door opens and someone's about ready to walk in,
Yeah.
you do the bang there,
Right.
and just film their reaction, and just
Right.
a whole series of bangs, and just the video goes viral is just called bang. And it's just some dude. Like if I were trying to describe it on YouTube, I'd
Right.
be like, dude, it's just some dude that goes around screaming bang to people. But
Those
it's
are the ones that go viral,
But
man.
it's funnier than hell. That's what
Yeah.
I'd be saying, because everybody laughs that hears it and sees it. And
Right.
usually the only people that get pissed are the ones that I do it to. And dude, they get pissed. Like,
Yeah.
like I've had dudes want to fight because, you know, I
Right.
waited right when they were taking a drink or something.
Right.
And then I'll yell bang. And,
Is this
and-
someone you know or a random person?
Yeah, people I know.
Okay, yeah. And they want to fight.
Yeah, well, you know, they're what the fuck you doing, dude? Fucking punch your ass. You know? but it's like, it's funny, man. I think I want a crew.
Right.
Just follow me around as long as there's bodyguards. Because, dude, you bang the wrong person, you could get killed.
I banged a couple wrong people before.
You know, someone's grandma. You
Yeah.
bang a grandma.
I banged a couple grandmas.
Yeah.
No, I
mean,
haven't. I'm kidding.
But all pun intended, or all.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Not bang a grandma.
Yeah.
Just do the bang thing
Just
to a grandma.
yeah,
That's,
I know.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah.
If a grandson's there and he's all 10 feet tall,
Right.
might want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
I just want two dudes there to stop the madness. Like I see these prank videos where people are walking up, you know, you're thinking they're going to get their ass kicked. Did you
Right.
see one? I just saw one the other day where some dude's walking up to black guys and he's basically saying nickel.
Oh God.
Did you see that one?
I've seen similar ones. What? So he's trying to say it in relation to the N word, basically.
Yeah, he's trying to see how, and then when they're like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And then he's like, nickel. And he's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't think that's funny. I think it's rude.
I agree.
think you're fucking stupid, and I'm surprised he doesn't get his ass kicked.
I agree. There's a lot of the hood
dude,
pranks.
a lot of those guys were like totally cool about it. As soon as he's like, no, a nickel. Now, again, dude, it's prank video.
Right.
As soon as you told me it was a prank video, I'd kick your ass just for that.
Right.
So I need bodyguards because mine's going to piss people off.
100%.
Yours is all nice. You're giving $100 bill away.
You know, I'm actually happy that that's the one that went viral because I did some crazy. I wanted the mall prank to go viral, but I mean it did, but not as big as that one. I'm glad that the one that made it and really went crazy, you know, international stuff, was the positive one. So I was kind of happy about that. But I've seen those in the hood pranks, and no, some of those guys deserve to get their teeth kicked in. They go above, they go overboard. Like, you ever heard that Boonk Gang guy? He's been arrested a ton of times. He goes to McDonald's, steals stuff, runs out, goes in Dunkin' Donuts, steals shit, starts kicking stuff on the counter. I like doing the social experiments, but I don't like really messing with people. So I'll give you an example. I did one, and my dad was a part of it, and basically it was a scenario where my dad was having sex with my fiance, and I barged into Azteca Mexican restaurant, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "He lost all his money, blah blah blah." She's like, "You lost all your money, blah blah." We did this in front of a whole crowd of people in Azteca, and when I was in the car waiting for the go ahead to come inside, I got the message that there's kids in there, right? So look, I'm not a bad dude, you know what I mean? But I don't want to fucking barge in a restaurant and scare the living shit out of 8-year-olds, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's not my intention here. So I remember watching the footage back, and some of the feedback was, "Oh, there's kids in there," and I'm like, those aren't the kind of ones that I want to do. I do want to go a little extreme with them, but I don't want to come to the point where I'm literally traumatizing children, jumping over McDonald's counters and knocking down the fries and doing crazy shit. I'm not trying to get arrested doing pranks, but I will push the limits, So.
Well, I'm going to have to, so you don't put it on YouTube?
Yeah, everything's on YouTube.
What's your YouTube channel?
Brian Breach 03. So YouTube.
I'll go follow it and see how funny you are.
And all the stuff's on Instagram as well. Yeah. Now that IGTV has emerged, it's made it so much fucking easier. Like, thank God.
IGTV's cool.
Right.
I get a lot of views. I mean, for me, I get a lot of views on those.
Oh no, absolutely. And they also recently. The IGTV thing, they keep changing the format. So when I first saw it is when Will Smith posted the trailer to Aladdin. And if you notice, the original IGTVs, it would zoom in. There was no way to make a format zoomed out unless you put those big-ass boxes and then put words on the boxes. All the videos would zoom in. And just in the last 3 to 4 weeks, you can now post a regular video, 10 minutes long, doesn't zoom in. You don't have to add boxes. You don't have to format it, and it just does it beautifully.
Is that the limit, 10 minutes?
I'm not sure. Maybe a little longer than that.
Most of my watchers are like 3 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to lose your audience, I would probably keep it around 3 to 5. I inadvertently became an Instagram expert. Oh, it's
That's your
IGTV's an hour now? Jesus. It's almost like.
I mean, if there was something good on there, I guess I would watch it. But,
right.
But I don't like watching stuff on my phone so much.
Right.
Put it on a TV at least.
True. I wish there was a way to monetize IGTV.
Well, there is.
How do you?
It's coming.
It's coming?
Well, you monetize IGTV by what you're saying, and then you drive it somewhere.
Oh, of course. I mean by view-wise, like view count.
Like a ad.
Like how YouTube is. You get 30,000 views, or say you get 1 million views, you get 0.110 cents per view or whatever.
Yeah, they're starting to do ad roll on Facebook's watch page. You have a watch page?
No, I have a Facebook fan page to verify, but not specifically a watch.
Go get a watch page.
Yeah.
They've allowed me to monetize it. I just don't monetize it. Like I don't like going to the YouTube and having to watch a video.
Right.
So I always hit skip.
Right.
So I appreciate it when I turn it off. So I turned all the ads off on mine.
Right.
And then someone said I was nuts, so I turned them on, like thinking I'm a fool.
Right.
And I get like $20 a month or something. Like,
right.
Dude, I'd rather
it's
keep
bullshit.
the $20 and not annoy people with ads. However,
true.
If you're out there doing it for a living, oh damn, Skippy, I'd do it. That's what Josh Paler Lynn does, dude. He makes good money.
Yeah.
These other 2 kids that came out here, D and B, what the hell was their name again? they're huge. They got like 3 million followers.
Wow.
On YouTube, which is the hardest one to get, if you ask me.
It's a pain in the fucking ass.
So
yeah.
they drop something, and
Yeah.
dude, they'll get 4 or 5 million views in a couple of days.
Oh, wow.
And that's worth money, and they make good money every month.
Absolutely. As much as I think I'm an expert on social media, I still learn stuff every day. I teach a lot of the Instagram stuff, but every day I'm learning something new. I mean,
I like the
constant
social
change.
experiment ones
Yeah.
that have a little thought to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, just good, funny pranks. But some of those are made up, like the
Right.
gold digger ones.
Oh, they're all made. It's all
Like
bullshit.
those girls aren't real.
You could tell.
Dude, I've
Yeah.
had Ferraris and I've had it all. No girls come up and are that stupid.
Of
And-
course
and,
not.
And again, I'm not an
Yeah.
ugly fat dude. They're
Right.
having ugly fat dudes pull up in a car and all of a sudden this girl's like, "Oh baby, anything you want." Bullshit.
Oh, it is
Those
bullshit.
Those are actresses, man.
It's definitely bullshit. We did a social experiment recently called the being verified in real life prank. So it was a concept of, let me see if I can walk. So I basically printed out my blue verification like this big, and we walked around to different places trying to get free stuff because I'm verified. So we actually drove to Gloria Stefan's house, right? And we went to the guard gate. I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to see Gloria Stefan." I'm like, "I'm verified," and held up my blue check mark that let me in the gate. Well, no, I didn't hold it up there. But they let me in when I said her name. Then I went to Gloria Stefan's driveway, and I looked in her camera, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm here to see Gloria Stefan." Like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Brian. I'm verified. Here's my ID." And I held up my blue check mark on Instagram. They let me in the gate. So then I tried to get a free hotel room at the Hilton. They looked at me like I was fucking crazy. We went to a restaurant.
They will give you upgrades and nicer shit if you're verified because they think you're gonna
Yeah.
tweet it out or something.
No, absolutely. The whole thing is, if you're verified and you call ahead of time and you network and you create that, then you could do it. You can't just walk with your verification badge. So I tried to pay a waitress with my blue check mark. It was funny, just to be silly. So I gave her the check and I handed her the blue check mark, and she's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I'm verified." Like, the whole thing was to be like obnoxious, and I'm like, "But I'm verified. I was told I get free food." She goes, "I never heard of that." I was like, "That's what happens when you're verified. All my verified friends, they told me to get free stuff." Then I went to JetBlue or the airport, and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to take a flight to New York. Here's my verification." Like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I'm verified on Instagram. You know the blue check mark?" They're like, "Are you fucking with us?" I'm like, "What? Cops get free McDonald's, and I'm verified. I can't get a free flight."
Cops get free Starbucks too.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
I know for sure because I was made an honorary police officer and they gave me a badge.
Oh shit.
And I had it in my wallet.
Yeah.
And so they saw my badge.
Right.
And I was giving them money and they said, "Oh no, it's free."
Yeah.
I said, "Why is it free?" She said, "All police officers are free." And I'm like, "Well, first of all, this is honorary. Let me pay for it because I'm not out there doing the job." But I didn't know that until that day.
Right.
Like I'm like, well, then why are they screwing with the cops in the other Starbucks? Like,
Right.
I thought they love cops.
How did you become an honorary police officer?
I did a speech in Florida. I think it was
Okay.
Miami though.
Right.
And there was turns out to be a mayor of a town that was in the audience.
Right.
And I said I always wanted to be a cop because when I was a kid growing up, I was going to be a cop.
Right.
But I got a DUI and freaking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can't be a cop with a DUI. Back
Yeah.
when I was a youngster. Now.
Yeah, I probably couldn't be one with my 2 felony arrests either.
Yeah, so like, I ended up not being one, but I always wanted to be one. I just thought freaking being a cop would be the coolest shit ever. Mm-hmm. But I might have maybe there's a reason for it because I might have went to jail because with that much authority, dude.
Right.
I don't know if I could help myself.
Right.
Like I kick in a door and there's 30 kilos of coke and everyone scrams.
Oh yeah.
I'll be going to the evidence locker. Yep, found 10 keys.
And that's why there's a lot of corruption out there.
Oh, dude, and again, I'm no angel. I'm an opportunist. Like
Exactly.
and I got a badge, like shit. 30 keys, everyone scrammed, I'd be turning in 10.
Right.
And I'd probably be in prison right now going, "Damn, I should have been a cop."
They just caught some cops doing that.
And you don't want to be a cop in prison. Too.
Oh, no.
So now you're really screwed.
Absolutely.
So I probably would have been like screwed.
Right.
In the almighty universe or God.
Oh, you'd be fucked in prison for sure,
Has-
literally and
has steered me
figuratively.
left.
There's a bunch of cops. I think it was in California. They all have like the same tattoos on them. I think it was like skeletons or whatever. And they were a gang. They created a gang. They were all recently arrested, but they created like a gang with inside the force, and they do that a lot. I could tell you some stories there, but yeah,
Well, that's scary, dude.
Oh, it is.
Because, dude,
It really
a
is.
cop can frame your ass in 5 seconds. Like, listen,
Yeah.
when you pull me over, if you're a police officer, I'm what you call respectful.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I've never been drug out of a vehicle. I've never been harassed by police officers.
I have many times.
Being polite?
Oh, being polite. I mean, I can give you about 10 examples right now.
Yeah, but why? How?
Because it's something in Broward County. I don't know what it is. Okay. So what cops do is first of all, they got to hit quotas. In order for them to move up and get promoted, they have to have a specific amount of arrests. They go out. Trust me, I'm not making this up. I've spoken to more cops than I can count. I've asked police chiefs about this. I talked to a black police chief who was arrested by literally his own force and was targeted for racism that he told me, and they didn't know he was a police chief until they arrested his kids. They put him all in handcuffs. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm a police chief, and they almost shit themselves. One cop was just recently arrested. I think he framed 120 people just recently. That's what they do to move up. My first experience being harassed by police, I was driving. This is the first day I ever had a car. I took my friend Mike at the time to go get a haircut. I'm driving on Hollywood Boulevard, and I get pulled over. 7 guns to my head. Get the fuck out of the car, you motherfucker! Screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? Never experienced this in my life. Put my hands on the car. They're talking down to me like I'm the biggest piece of shit. I'm literally like, I got my license when I was 18. So we're standing there, and they go, this fucking car's stolen. I said, yo, I bought this car from my stepsister. Just go in the glove compartment. The title's right there. It says her name on the title. They look at it. They see the title. And I'm standing there, and they go, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, can I get an apology? And she said it again, get the fuck out of here. Like, what? Like, you literally screamed at me, talked down to me like I'm a scumbag, guns to my head. I was polite as can be. I wasn't rude, polite as can be. And she tells me to get the fuck out of there. No apology. Then one night I'm driving with my friends. I forgot. We came from a hip-hop show, and they pull us over for no reason. We're not speeding. We're not doing nothing. No drugs in the car. Guy walks up to the car, and he flashes the flashlight in there, and he goes, look what we got here. It's the fucking Backstreet Boys. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And this is all in Florida? This is all in Florida. I can give you about 10 other stories.
Stay out of Florida then.
Yeah, they definitely fuck with you. I had a cop hit on my girlfriend. He pulled her away from the car and was trying to holler at her, like literally while I'm in the car, and they're screaming her, I know you got fucking drugs in the car. I was like, search the car, there's no drugs. And he's trying to get her number behind me, and then I walk up to him, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And then they let us go. I mean, it's bizarre. I can go.
Dude, you make it sound like freaking it's dangerous down there, and it's the law that's dangerous.
They're allowed to just drive behind any car they want, run your plates, and so I'll give you an example. Last Christmas, I'm driving, and I go to a gas station. I leave the gas station. I get pulled over. I get pulled over because they told me that my air freshener was obstructing my windshield. My air freshener, you know, the little Christmas tree air freshener? Guy searches my entire car, finds nothing. It finds a plastic bag actually in the middle console, nothing in it. They
probably run your record, see the drug charges.
That's exactly what it is.
Now they think you're running drugs.
And now they think I'm running drugs. So
what kind of drugs were they?
Pills.
Little cocaine, little Molly.
No coke. It was pills at that time.
Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Oxycodone.
Something like that. Yeah. Along those lines. You got it.
Fenton. What's it called?
Fentanyl.
Dude,
yeah.
That shit. I hear that fentanyl's freaking dangerous.
No, I know that world very well. I'm not gonna lie. I made a lot of money. Through a specific time.
And you didn't go to prison, so you're lucky.
I'm very lucky.
And let me just tell the bomb squad something, folks. Yeah. All you people judging,
right?
Y'all breaking law. See, people are all like 90% of this world are felons.
Yeah.
They just haven't got caught.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, dude,
a lot of politicians.
Dude, absolutely, dude. Look at them; they're starting to go down left and right. By the way,
it.
but, dude, listen. Everybody's a felon.
Yeah.
Have you ever drank and drove? Felon.
Yeah.
Have you? Felon. You dirty felon. You don't. You shouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, dude. Like we as society pretend we want to rehabilitate them. That's stupid, dude. No. You wouldn't send them to a freaking prison then.
Right.
Prisons don't rehabilitate. Prisons punish.
Right.
Rehabilitate is send them to prison for a day and get them so freaking scared they promise not to do it again. That's rehabilitation.
Oh, for sure. I got 18 months probation and a year of drug court. And you know, I've never spoken. I've only told private. I've never spoken about this, but I got a year.
Told like 7 billion people. You know, everybody on the planet listens to Drop Bombs.
I love it. No. It's again. I like being transparent. That's my life. That's the story. I talk about it on my album as well. I got a year of drug court, and it's really not about rehabilitating anyone. It's all about money. They wanted money from me. Yeah.
You know that, like, for example, for every prisoner, they get X amount of dollars per year for them.
Oh yeah.
And then those prisoners can now work for chump change.
Right. And so, private prisons, it's almost like slavery in a sense.
Private prisons are very scary.
Yeah.
But I like private prisons better than state run or federal run, because the private ones, you probably could bribe your way out. Like they could say, you have enough money. They'd say, oh, he's in there, when you're not.
Right.
But the scary thing is, with the prison system is it's a business. They make money. They want them full.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm surprised they're legalizing weed. Like that kept them full.
Well, the government's taxing it, and now they should let every person out of jail who was ever arrested on weed charges, because now the government's making billions of dollars.
Drop bombs. I'm dropping one on that one.
Drop some bombs.
Yeah, dude. Listen, weed's legal now, right?
Yeah.
It is in this state.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody in jail for weed, no matter when you did it, should automatically be let go.
Right. 100%.
I agree with that 1,000%. But they're not.
Oh, they're never going to do it.
You know why? Because it was against the law then.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Look at prohibition, alcohol. Jesus, there's a liquor store in every corner. There was once a time where it was illegal.
State-run liquor stores.
Yep. It's bizarre.
Well, they're trying to say, well, you shouldn't have did it. It was illegal then.
Yeah, it was illegal then. They were
So,
still
like,
making money off it.
If murder wasn't illegal,
Yeah.
there'd be a lot more murders, right?
If you could murder, you ever see the movie The Purge?
Yes.
If you could purge, would you purge?
No, I wouldn't. But I would go to war.
Rob a couple banks.
No. I'm like a nice guy. Again, I don't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody, but I would go to war. Like if they said, Brad, you can pick up arms and head to, Zimbabwe or Afghanistan.
Right.
Or wherever. And there's people over there killing us.
Right.
I'd kill back without even blinking.
Right.
You heard of Chris Kyle, the number 1 sniper?
I saw American Sniper.
The only reason he was the number 1 sniper is for one reason.
Why?
I wasn't there. Dude, if I'd have been there, like that, to me, it's like a live video game.
Right.
Of course, you get over there, it's a lot different. It's scary, blah, 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 blah. Bullets flying back, video games.
Right.
I've heard it all. The Jocko Willink was here. I told him the same thing. It's like, I don't know if something's broken, but that I would do.
Right.
Like if you're my enemy and we both have weapons,
right,
I think it'd be kind of fun.
A little crazy, but
I would love someone to break in my house.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you break in, you better be coming to kill me because if you're in my house,
right,
and you're not supposed to be there,
right,
I have no problem putting one right in your forehead.
Right, you're gonna
and it needs to be in the forehead.
Yeah.
Like, just know that if people are listening, you break into my house, I am aiming to kill you. I don't want to shoot you in the leg and stop the transaction.
They encourage you to kill. My instructor, when I got my concealed permit, they encourage you if somebody breaks in to kill him, because if you only wound him in the leg, he'll try to sue you, or if he falls through your roof.
And can win.
Yeah, they can win. It's been happening.
So, like, again, I don't want anyone to break in my house, but if they did, I'd kind of like it.
Right. I kind of like it.
I would, but I don't want to kill anybody. But I would definitely kill people trying to kill me.
Oh, 100%.
So you kill me, or you be willing to kill me,
right?
And yeah, I'd kill you.
Absolutely.
I'd purge those people.
Yeah, I own about 8 guns.
I think violent crime need to go to prison.
Right.
And then white collar crime, other kind of crime,
right,
needs to go do something embarrassing.
Right.
Or stay broke. Like, for example, if you're a white collar criminal, you just now have to pay 95% taxes.
Right.
Because wouldn't you rather like go to jail for a year and get out and go right back to making money than be broke your whole life?
Mm-hmm.
I think white collar shouldn't be stuck in the old prisons, because violence is what happens in there. What
about the people that rip families off for millions?
Yeah, I think they should be locked in a room with the families.
Let them go out.
That'd
be awesome.
Go stand in a room with the people you ripped off.
Yeah.
You know, Uncle Charlie and
right,
cousin Fred, or whoever you affected. Yeah. Hey, the grandson of the person you stole from, he wants to talk to you.
Oh, that'd be crazy. You seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I would also, if I were presidente, I would clear out the prisons every time we go to war. Like, I would not send my military over to fight a war, I would empty the prisons out
Right.
and give them a second chance. I would say, listen, we understand it's dangerous. We understand you might get killed over there.
Right.
But listen, you've got 5, 10, 20 years left on your sentence.
Right.
So I'm going to give you a weapon. You're going to go over there and you're going to fight for us. And if you make it back, debt paid. And here's what I'd also do.
If you make it back.
Yeah, if you make it back, debt paid. Dude, what more? I mean, that's a lot you're doing for a country.
Right.
Here's what I also think. No military men or women should have to pay taxes.
That's interesting.
If you fought. I mean, dude, there's veterans walking around without their legs.
Oh, yeah.
And they got to pay taxes.
It's ridiculous.
Like, dude, they've paid their taxes. Would you rather pay taxes or have legs? Okay, so if I lost my legs for the United States of America,
Right.
let me earn money without having to give you some of it.
Right. But look what they do here. I mean, look at the first responders. Jon Stewart had to fight his ass off to get money for the first responders during 9/11 because they're all dying of cancer now.
That was permanently funded, I saw on the news.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Why does a TV personality have to fight for people who risk their lives that day? So same with the military. I mean, I think there should be better benefits for them, something when they come back here. I mean, I know it's a continuous fight. But
Do you see how this discussion went from viral videos to now we're bitching about the government?
Everything goes back to
People
politics.
always ask me, like, what do you think of Trump? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to think because I don't know what to believe because the media won't tell the truth. Like, what's the
Right.
fucking truth, man?
I can tell you some truths. Don't let me get started on this subject.
I know, but like, is the unemployment lowest ever? Is Trump doing everything you hear from these people? And then over here, no, he's not. And then over
Right.
here, yes, he is. Can someone just tell me the truth?
100%,
And then I'll let you know what do I think of him because he did lower taxes. I know that.
Yeah.
Now, you got some people going, yeah, but it's going all to the rich people.
Right.
Well, then get rich.
Right.
Like if that's where the tax credits are and you want some,
Right.
get rich then.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. No, it's not. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Do you think it's hard?
These days,
Yeah.
we're living in a different environment where you don't need a 9 to 5 no more. I think you could become an entrepreneur and everybody has a potential. Again, opportunities in this country are sometimes shifted in different ways, but some people got to work harder than others. But yes, anybody, if you really kill yourself, you could become rich in this country.
And you don't have to kill yourself, dude.
Work hard.
Listen,
Work.
I'm a high school dropout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never did a damn thing right.
Right.
I got 4 kids from 6 women.
Do you really?
That's supposed to be funny.
Okay.
My problem is I always had to learn everything the hard way.
Yeah.
I'm what you would call loser. Like this guy's never going anywhere. Matter of fact, when I was younger, that's what they always told me.
Really?
Now I got multi-million-dollar businesses.
Right.
I got I'm in the cliques. Like guess
Yeah.
what? I didn't do anything. I'm not working 18 hours a day. I'm not some freaking genius.
Right.
You know what I know? How to sell. You know how I know? How to build relationships.
Right.
I'm smart when it comes to solving problems.
Right.
So guess what? Learn to solve problems. What do most people do when they face problems? They run from them. They hide from them. They avoid them.
Right. You got to turn
Matter of fact,
those problems.
we should do one of these together. Let's do a viral video where you walk up to somebody. It doesn't even matter if you're that big. And be
Right.
like, you want a problem? People are like, no, I don't want a problem.
Yeah.
Dude, I look for problems. I love problems. Problems are like games and challenges. Like, is there opportunity there? Like any problem,
There's an opportunity.
there's an opportunity.
Always.
So it's like someone asked me the other day on a live feed, how do I start a business from scratch? Look for a problem
Right.
and then figure out how to solve it for less than you're charging to do it.
Right.
Because that's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
Anyone can get rich. I did, and anyone can. And you don't have to work 20 hours. Again, it helps. It does give you an advantage when someone else is slacking.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you working 20 hours, dude, someone's out there working 24. I promise
100%.
you. There's always someone bigger, better, badder, stronger.
Right.
You just have to be smart, look and solve problems. Like monetizing your viral videos. There are ways to do it. Of
course.
The question is how, and you're going to find them all.
Right.
You know why? Because you're already doing the right thing. You're
Right.
bouncing around podcast, this relationship, that relationship, this newscast.
Right.
Next thing you know, dude, you're going to be sitting there and someone's going to go, how did it all happen? And it's going to be because you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
You got to network, man. Relationships are the new economy.
So true.
How'd you hear about dropping bombs?
My boy Jose.
Oh, from
Yeah. Now Media.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Jose.
Did he say it's stupid, but man, a lot of people listen to it.
Exactly. Yeah, he said it sucks, but you should do it. No, he had nothing but nice words. I met Jose off the billboard. So I put up that crazy billboard, and I met a lot of people. I got a TV show off that billboard. I got radio shows off that billboard. He was one of the people. I spoke to him for a little while, and he was telling me stories how he was in the White House with Obama doing some stuff over there for a year, and he created a media company. So one of the things he recommended was talking to Brad Lee. And now I'm here talking to you. So yeah, I 100% agree. You're what do they say? Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
It's super important these days.
So I wanted to focus on this, but we're running out of time. I know you guys got to roll. How to survive without a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And how to go viral. Like how to survive without a 9-to-5.
Right.
How do you do that?
You fail a lot. So basically the gist of what I spoke about during my TEDx was all my failed ventures. So when I got fired from my 9-to-5 because of my legal stuff, it was basically hustling. It was not stopping. It wasn't. I mean, first of all, my situation was different because I was thrown to the wolves. I didn't have a choice. Maybe if I hadn't got arrested, it was kind of blessing in disguise. Let's say I didn't have those charges on my record, and I got fired. I probably would have went to a 9-to-5 again. That would have been my first reaction, was to go get a job, but I didn't. So how I survived basically is one hustle to the next. I was doing the hip hop shows at the time. I had side gigs going on.
But you were kind of forced to.
I was forced to, yeah. So
see, now again, how come people don't just think like, let me just go do that?
Right, but mind you, so I was always behind the scenes doing hip hop shows and hustling and making side money. From the day I came out my mother's womb, I was selling things. I mean, literally, when I was a kid, I used to steal chrome caps off people's cars. When I was a kid, I used to make paper airplanes and sell them. I used to make bracelets during summer camp, and I used to sell them. So I was always making money. So
in New York, you grew up in New York?
I was born in New York. My mom contracted HIV, and she passed away, and then we were taken down to Florida. Well, she passed away in Florida, but it was my whole childhood was a crazy story. My stepdad was murdered. My mother passed away of HIV. Then my dad got custody, and then we permanently stayed in Florida. Long story short. So
see, we should have been talking about important stuff this whole time. We're talking about frickin' Trump. Shooting people,
military. But
so when you hung out in Florida,
yeah,
that's like since age of what?
I got here when I was about 8.
Since then you were in Florida?
Since I was in Florida,
so
yeah.
You're pretty much a Floridian.
Yeah, I'm a Floridian. People are like, I still hear your New York accent. I was like, I never had a fucking New York accent. Shut up. I love New York to death, but I don't. That's not my home. Florida's my home. But I've been hustling.
Who inspired you? Ice Cube? I mean, not Ice Cube. What's his name? Ice Baby.
Vanilla.
Yeah, Vanilla.
No. I didn't get mine.
Because he was like A1A, Beachfront
Avenue. Girls are hot. Yeah, I still remember that.
How old are you?
How would you guess? If you had to put a number on it.
I don't know, maybe 32?
38. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a youngster still.
Yeah,
How old do you think I am, 100?
Nah.
71?
What, somewhere in the 40s?
Yeah, well, sure. I'm in the 50s.
Are you really?
Sure.
Damn.
Sure. Can't tell by that tricep, though.
Trying to get mine going.
I just turned 50, man, but I'm looking for all that shit that'll reverse aging and make me never change. You'll come back looking like an old sumbitch at 70,
yeah,
and I'll look just like this.
True. What age did you start catching your wind? Like when did things start turning for you?
Dude, believe it or not, I still haven't. Like, dude, I'm just broke at another level. Like,
I'm broke at another level.
Yeah, like people always, again, I got, we do millions of dollars here, but we also spend millions. But that's beside the point. At 30 years old is when I kind of woke up and said, dude, I got to quit being a dipshit.
Right.
And then, over 20 years, I kind of built something. But I don't think I built what I should have built and could have built, but I wasn't that smart. Right. I didn't seek mentorship. I didn't seek, knowledge. I just powered through. So I'm just like a tough son of a bitch that won't quit. It's almost like my perspective is broken. Like I've been homeless on the beach. Doesn't that sound terrible?
Yeah.
It was the beach, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't that terrible. I had freaking blankets. It wasn't that cold. The waves were crashing. I knew it was temporary. I could have went home. I chose not to. Like, dude, why does everybody act like, oh, and then what did you do?
Right.
Well, I decided to find a girl because that's what I did. I'm in LA. I'm like, well, shit, maybe I can find a chick and she'll let me sleep at her house.
Right.
So I started looking for girls at the mall, and then I met one, and sure enough, she let me sleep at her house for a little while.
Damn.
So, then I met friends, and then I crashed on their couch. Like, everyone's like, oh, like, isn't that normal?
Right.
Like, hasn't everybody done that?
Do you think you would have got a head start in life? Like, let's say, for example, you had the social media these kids have now at the age of 20.
Oh, dude.
You think you would have fucking blown up?
For sure.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
I mean, there was MySpace when I was like 26, but if I had the fucking, look, Casey Adams, he's 19 years old?
MySpace is not what it is today.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Got bought out by Justin Timberlake.
Dude, right now, we're all 100% connected.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing. It's
crazy.
People always ask me, Brad, if you could do over, what would you do? I said digital marketing.
Oh, yeah.
If you know how to go get 1 million people on Instagram to give you $5, you're good.
I know people with 50,000 followers that are getting a specific amount from their 2,000 followers, and they're becoming rich off it. You don't even need millions of followers these days. You just need a solid audience to sell.
Dude, we have training software, so I get to meet all the people training people.
Yeah.
Dude, there's companies I know of that will literally teach anyone with a cell phone and a laptop how to make $500,000 a year just headhunting.
Damn.
You ever heard of headhunting?
Yeah.
Like, finding people and putting them in companies.
Right.
Dude, they'll teach you how to do that. So anybody can make a couple $100,000 to $500,000.
Right.
Just freaking with a cell phone and a laptop. Now that is what I like.
Right.
Like, dude, I don't want to have to come in.
Right.
I used to have to show up all the time. That was terrible. God dang, dude, it's been an hour already, and I know that you guys. Do you guys have to go?
No, we could chill all day.
Well, I gotta go. I know that I do want to talk a little bit more about how to survive without a 9 to 5, but that's just called bum off your friends.
Hustling. Yeah.
But how do you make money without having a 9 to 5? Is that what you mean by that?
Pretty much. There are ways, man. These days, you got social media stuff. I mean, you can literally do online service. During my TED Talk, I didn't give practical ways. I talked about my way that I survived throughout the years. And I did talk about selling some things and making a lot of money that way. When I did my TEDx, I even talked about not wanting to sound like such a hypocrite because I did make money ways on the side hustling. But again, it was one venture failing to the next.
Yeah.
It went from throwing shows to
But you kept going.
the printing. Yeah, I never stopped. And it wasn't until the social media business where it was generating a decent amount of money. But there was always some behind the scenes hustling going on. I've always figured out a way to make money. I was in 7th grade playing a game called Flips. I used to come home with $7 a day or something like that, flipping a coin against the wall. And if I got heads over the other person, there's always ways to make money in this world.
So next one, how do you think people can make a video go viral? Because one time, dude, I was in my backyard. It was pouring down rain like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
A coyote was trotting across the green,
Right.
because I live on a golf course.
Yeah.
And a bolt of lightning, loud, came down and obliterated this fox.
You saw this
Yeah.
in front of you. I've never seen anything die
Me
from
either.
a lightning strike.
I put it up on YouTube. Fuck. That was like 10, 20 years ago. Dude, there still ain't but fucking maybe
you
300.
still have that video?
Yeah.
Send it to Lad Bible right now to go viral tomorrow.
Dude, it's like it was. I was like, dude, this is gonna go viral. Dude, no one looked at shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is dumb. Like, how do you make a video go viral?
Okay, so there's practical tips. I mean, I told my story in NetCon about how mine went viral, and some I sent to the news, some I sent to what you just said, like a Lad Bible or
What's a lab Bible?
Lad Bible is a specific site. They got millions of followers on Facebook. They only take like pet videos and animal videos. So if you were to send them a video on that, I guarantee it would go viral by tomorrow. No joke. So how I recommend practically how to go viral is this. Now, whether you do real estate, Forex, or you're shooting comedy skits, what you want to do is this. So as you know, what blows videos up the most is negative comments, okay? Or people arguing. I've studied the shit out of viral videos, and every time I see a video go viral and have 15, 20,000 comments, it's because idiots under the, not idiots, but you know what I mean, people under the comments are arguing with one another about something. So this is what I recommend to make a video go specifically viral, is to put Easter eggs in there to specifically create talk. Now, let's say, for example, you're a real estate agent, and I got asked this at NetCon. I got asked this recently from a real estate guy. How do I push my videos other than sending it to real estate sites? If you're shooting a real estate video, right, and let's say, for example, you're shooting it and you have a stain on your shirt, and you watch the video back and you're like, fuck, I have a stain on my shirt. We got to shoot it over. No, fuck that. Don't shoot the video over. Leave that fucking stain on your shirt, right? And I'll tell you why. Then let's say you're shooting the video and some guy's walking the dog behind you and the dog just happens to take a shit right in the middle of your real estate video while you're selling a mansion, right? Don't edit that out. Leave the dog taking a shit and leave the stain on your shirt, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to have about 100 people that would never, ever, ever have commented on your video that are going to come to your video, see it, and be like, this fucking idiot has a stain on his shirt. That would never have commented before. Then you're going to have another 150 people notice the dog when the people who saw the stain didn't notice the dog taking a shit. And then you're going to have 150 people say, oh, look at you. Did anyone notice that dog taking a shit? And that's going to prompt the other 50 people, 100 people that commented to notice the dog. And then that's going to create a discussion. So I would recommend always leave Easter eggs in your videos. I don't talk on a video about one topic. I put about 7 different things in every video that, somebody's going to talk about my mismatched socks. Somebody's going to talk about the background. Somebody's going to talk about this beautiful girl's tits, whatever it is, and that's going to create discussion. So every video you do, purposely do it. I was talking to someone the other day. He's like, fuck. He's like, I always thought about that, but I never thought of purposely dropping Easter eggs in my video. So I recommend doing that. Also, let's say you're shooting a viral real estate video, and I see a couple of people shoot music videos in a mansion. I was like, great idea. Why don't you do something so off the wall different, like shoot a real estate video standing in front of a fucking dumpster, right? Hey, I'm selling this house today, and you have a dumpster behind you, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to have 500 people be like, why is this fucking idiot real estate guy trying to sell a mansion and he's standing in front of a dumpster? It's going to create conversation. So if I have to give any tips other than sending your video to the news, other than sending your video to like a Zoom and Viral, which are major outlets on Facebook, or other than going to World Star Hip Hop, screaming out World Star, I recommend always putting Easter eggs in your videos that are going to create some kind of controversy and create some kind of discussion back and forth that people are going to argue about under your videos, because negativity, unfortunately, boosts up videos and makes a video go viral more these days than positivity does. So if I had to give any kind of practical advice about going viral, it would be that.
Negativity over positivity.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be dramatically controversial where you're going to get shit or you're going to get ousted from the industry. It could be something as simple, again, as a dog shitting in the background of your video. Plant these things. Don't just wait for a dog to go shit in your video. Have a girl.
So instead of getting lucky catching lightning in a bottle, go out there and play in a lightning storm.
Go play in a lightning storm. If you're shooting a minute real estate video and you're talking about selling a house, do funny things, man.
You could even do something to see if anyone picks it up.
Oh, of course.
Like, hey, listen, I'm going to film this, and all I want is like a naked old man for a half a second just to walk by.
That's it. And people, I promise you, I don't know what it is about human nature, but I've watched videos where I'm like, this shit's boring. Then I watch another video where did anyone see that car accident in the background? People go viral in comments these days. So if you comment on a Facebook video, you can literally go viral from a comment. So there are users, you know the top fan badge now on Facebook? People always joke about that, but you can go viral strictly off a comment. So there are people competing in the comment section, and I've done it too. I'm like,
top fan?
To be a top fan, or there are video that gets posted within 5 minutes, so I'll specifically write a funny comment, hoping that one goes viral, and people compete to go viral in the comment section of videos. So why not put a naked old man with his balls out in the back of your video? Let somebody notice it. I've dropped Easter eggs where people didn't notice them, and then I've dropped Easter eggs that people did notice them.
Is that what you're referring to with an Easter egg?
Yeah. An Easter egg to me
would be an Easter egg.
Exactly. An Easter egg to me would be anything that you're hoping your viewer's going to pick up. But you're not talking about it. You're not like, oh shit, look at that naked man's balls. You're not saying that. You're just literally letting it happen, and you're going along with your day. The funniest news videos that go viral where an anchor is talking about a snowstorm is when I saw one where this anchor's talking and a drug deal takes place right behind her. No joke. She didn't plan it. You saw the two exchange money and they walked off. That video went super viral. I guarantee you, if there was no drug deal behind her, it would have been a regular news story. This anchor would never have been known a day in her life.
Did she monetize?
I'm not sure she monetized. I've no idea.
That's the next step.
Right. Sometimes they go viral and you can't. My video that went viral, it was kind of tricky for me to monetize because it got picked up by every news source in the country. So I couldn't get a hold of it, It just went on the news everywhere. And Inside Edition kind of took my views on YouTube as well. I posted it, but they posted it, I think, right before me or something like that. And I actually saw comments under the Inside Edition video saying, damn, you guys fucking stole his thunder, because that video hit first and they ended up getting 30, 40,000 views, and my shit was dwindling on my own page at like 6,000, 7,000 views. So Easter eggs is the key to going viral. Throw them in there purposely. I don't give a shit if you're shooting real estate, funny comedy sketches, some of the stuff in my videos that people talk about most were the most accidental stuff, like the mall prank that I did. The first minute that I got out the car and I was walking with these two big ass bodyguards, and some guy goes, it was just his reaction, simple, just like that. And I got a shit ton of comments on that guy specifically. And it was an accident. I shot a video where I was protesting my own billboard, totally by accident. As we were walking to the billboard, I bought these shoes from a thrift store purposely because I was dressed like this country guy. And the sole of the shoe fell off as I was walking to the billboard. So everyone's like, yo, you need to use that in the video. So I took the sole, and as I'm screaming at my own billboard saying, Brian Breach, he's a fucking piece of shit. This scumbag piece of shit. You need a sole, Brian. Here, I got a sole for you. Take this sole. And I threw it. And that became the whole fucking topic of the discussion in the video. If you look at the comments, and it was a complete accident. So you never know what's going to go. You never know what's going to hit. You never know what's going to be that one thing people are going to comment about. So my 100% advice to people, I don't care what you're shooting, Forex, real estate, if you're selling Arrowhead water bottles, throw Easter eggs in your videos.
Is this the videographer following you around? You guys are just going to go everywhere, like around the strip, make content?
Tomorrow, today's my sightseeing day after this, but tomorrow, me and her and I think it's a porn star. Yeah, we're going to go shoot some crazy stuff on the skit about threesomes and twerking, some crazy stuff. Yeah.
Right on.
We're gonna shoot a couple things. I figured I came out here for this, obviously, but I had to fill up my time and shoot some content. I need to get.
I was gonna say, dude, there's a long flight just to drop a bomb dizzle.
Just to drop a bomb, man. I wanted to come meet you, man.
Folks, listen, if you guys ain't following Brian Breach, go check him out. Brian Breach, BREACH on Instagram, and pretty much the rest of them. Brian_Breach at Twitter, right?
Yes, sir.
At Brian Breach, Facebook. Follow him on YouTube, because you're going to drop all your videos on YouTube.
Everything goes
right?
on YouTube as well. Brian Breach 03.
Yeah, I'd say hit him up everywhere. Support the man.
Support me.
And then you're talking and you're speaking. Like, where's your next events?
Next event is I'm doing one in LA in like this huge mansion. I forgot exactly where it is, but it's related to the NetCon event. And then Anthony Disrupt. He has Disrupt Week in Puerto Rico, October something.
I might be at that one because I want to go buy a house down there.
Okay.
Because I want to be a resident.
Oh. I've never been to Puerto Rico either. It's going to be my first time.
Dude, look around, because if you got any real dough.
Yeah.
You want to be a resident
in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
That's what the fancies are telling me.
True.
Yeah, because one of these days, I'd like to pay less taxes, and if it means you have to live down there, and supposedly the only rule is 6 months and 1 day you got to live in Puerto Rico. Well, I got to go visit first, but
right.
Dude, I have friends that've been there. They're like, dude, it's like awesome. It's like you're down in the Bahamas.
Right, you never been?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then Anthony, and I'm like, dude, I'll move down there for 6 months a year.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been drunk longer than that.
Wait, so you have to, in order not to pay taxes, you said you have to live there for 6 months?
6 months and 1 day.
6 months and 1 day? Why that 1 day?
Because otherwise you're not there long enough.
Gotcha. So 6 months and 1 day.
6 months and 1 day. So you're technically there more than you're not.
Right. Would you create a drop and bomb studio over in Puerto Rico?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I'd live there for 6 months and 1 day. Like, I'm afraid of jail. Like, I don't want to be like told what to do all day and not be able to go anywhere. Like, I don't want to be in jail.
Right.
So nothing's worth my freedom.
Right.
Nothing. Like, dude, you could say, $100 million. Like, listen, if there's possibility of jail, I'm probably not interested.
Right.
But down there, it's totally legal. You just have to be there 6 months and 1 day. People are like, oh, well, dude, you know what you do is you go down there and then you take a canoe over to the, this island and then you sneak back. Like, dude, just stay there for 6 months and 1 day. If that's what the rule is,
right.
That's what the rule is. So yeah, I'd open up a drop and bomb studio. I'd build a beautiful house right on a freaking cove somewhere.
Right.
I'd freaking get to know the locals. I'd open up businesses, maybe a little freaking, souvenir shop. I don't know, beach bar or something cool just to hang out while I'm down there.
Just do it.
Because it's not far from Florida anyway. But more importantly, dude, nowadays, we're connected. I could literally work from anywhere. I could live in freaking Amsterdam.
Right.
You've been there?
I've never been to Amsterdam.
Dude, that's a place.
I'm slipping. I got to get it back. I got to get on my traveling game here.
Dude, you need to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That place right there.
They got brothels, right?
Dude, Rome overtook Amsterdam as my favorite city, but not by much, dude.
If you had to move to anywhere else other than Puerto Rico, second best, where would it be?
Rome. You ever been to Rome?
I've never been to Rome.
Dude, you ever been to Mykonos?
Nope.
See, those places get old after you're tired of the beach, but Rome, dude, Rome is cool as a mug.
Damn.
Anyway, folks, hey, listen, you're gonna follow this guy. He's rising up through the ranks. Pretty soon, you won't even be able to freaking talk to him.
Yeah, if you invite me in about a year from now, I'm not coming back here, bro.
That's right.
No, I'm just
Everybody comes back here, dog. You know why? Because I keep it real in the field.
Keep it real in the field.
Not only that, I'll probably get you a lot of biz. A lot of people listen to my podcast. Awesome. A lot of real people.
Boom.
Okay, they appreciate good people, good stories. I wouldn't let that felony bullshit bother you.
Yeah.
And and you're already in the entrepreneur space now, so like you're gonna make something. You ain't gonna need a 9 to 5 ever again, folks. If you're listening, and you still have a 9 to 5. DM him, reach out because he can kind of walk you through it.
Definitely.
Or I'll have you back next time.
Awesome, let's do it.
Thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Folks, go out and share this out with your peeps. Until next time, peace.
Dropping bombs. Yeah. Good talk.